Greetings, beautiful friends. Happy Monday to you. Here we are with our usual Monday check-in, our inner compass forecast for the week ahead. I trust you had a lovely weekend and really enjoyed the energies yesterday of the solstice. I always like to just take a wee moment to pause into the energies of solstice. Solstice always feels like it's almost like a little press pause, but there's a sense of balancing. And why I'm saying that is that's where we step into the new season. So solstice marks the longest day here in the northern hemisphere and the shortest day in the southern hemisphere. So that's what I'm talking about it being balanced. And so in the southern hemisphere, they step into winter, and we here in the northern hemisphere step into summer. And so this is such a potent time. There's so many pieces that are affecting us this week. This is the last full week of the month of June. And we, like I just said, we had the solstice energy yesterday and the lunar effect that we have too, and it arrived last night. Also, on the 21st, it's the first quarter phase of the moon in the sign of Libra. So just talking about balance, here's more pieces around balance. So as we calibrate, and if you've watched these with me before, the whole intention of these inner compass check-ins or feeling into is to really empower, encourage, inspire you to listen to your own inner guidance. Your inner compass is your intuition. It comes from your heart. It comes from your heart is the seat of your soul. And so as we really feel into the energies that we are in, with it also being with this Libra energy, Libra is ruled by Venus. And so with this balancing, there's a very strong impulse to really check into your communication to those around you, your communication with speaking your truth, with asking what you need, what you want, remembering that you are worthy of speaking your truth, of saying, I need this, I don't need that, I prefer this, I prefer that. So the thing is, oftentimes we make it into patterns or have the propensity to hint at things rather than just being very direct and saying, I need this, I am worthy of that. Now, this is interesting part to bring in because this is a conversation I had with a client just recently, was sometimes we get caught up with an internal agenda that says, I have this wish, this desire, this need, this want, this value, and I need to ask this person, but I don't think they're available to give it to me, or they're going to say no, or the last time I asked it didn't happen. What do you need to release that if that goes on for you? Because by speaking clearly what you need and want, speaking clearly to your loved ones or to the people around you, you allow it to come to you. Don't get caught up in I need you to do this for me. It's, I'm going to speak this out and then open to receiving it. I trust that makes sense. If anything that I say to you on these sessions confuse you, trigger you, discombobulate you, and you need a wee bit more support or guidance, put it in the comments below or message me directly. Because like I said, this inner compass piece, we all have an inner compass. We weren't ever really educated or inspired to take a pause, to find our right rhythm. What does receiving your inner guidance feel like, look like? How does it happen for you? And sometimes you'll feel in flow and be in that sense of balance and ease and flow, and other times you won't. But it's about telling yourself the truth and asking, seeking the support or the guidance that's available for you. You know, when we ask a question, the answer already exists. But that doesn't mean that you go into your head and you have to ruminate and think it through and be logical. No, sometimes it just means surrender and say, hey, if I ask this question, the answer's already there, but maybe I just need to sit and being present and allow it to come in, as opposed to feeling like I have to chase it and have to go running down this path or that path. So this is the action phase. You know, last week we had that super new moon, and this is now the action phase on doing things in a different way, doing things that align with where you're headed. You know, sometimes we get into patterns and we feel like we can maybe get into, oh gosh, I've been here before. I thought I dealt with this before. But sometimes it's a part of that upward spiral. And sometimes if we can be more in flow and have a little bit of curiosity and maybe a wee bit of sense of humor, that can actually help us calibrate to, gosh, I am in the right place at the right time. I am having the experiences that I, as a soul, said, yep, I want to be there. I sign up for that. I hope that makes sense. But now let's get into pulling some cards. So, first quarter phase of the moon in the sign of Libra, the solstice, and the wrapping up of the month of June. So potent. Are you calibrating to the truth of you? And when we do that, you know, I just said about that upward spiral, sometimes, actually always, as we evolve and become more in alignment with that truth, we will recognize patterns, propensities, attachments, things that no longer serve who we have become and who we're becoming. So that's why I like to start our sessions off with, what are we going to focus on? What are we being guided to focus on letting go of? And here's an interesting one. It's anger or resentment. I love that one coming up with what I just said a moment ago about communicating what you need and want, as opposed to maybe hinting it and expecting people to read your mind. That can sometimes bring up anger or resentment. What's wrong with these people? How come they don't know that this is what I need? Ultimately, what we need and what we're seeking is peace, truth, peace, harmony, connection with our core. But if we don't speak out and be concise and have the sense of self-worth, I am worthy of asking what I need, then we can have anger or resentment bubble up. So if that happens for you, maybe use that as a little bit of a tap on your shoulder to say, hey, let's go and see what do I need to unpack this, to get the clarity. Maybe this is part of your action steps based on the intentions that you've set. You know, as I was saying that, because of the power of what we've just come through, the intentions that we're moving forward with, this could actually be the flavor for the rest of 2026 for you. Because this is very powerful, potent times. And so really take a wee moment for yourself and see, is there anger or resentment within you that's alerting you to saying, oh, hey, I'm not being direct right there. I'm not actually communicating what I need, what I want, what I wish for. So feel into that. And like I said, if this brings up something that you need a wee bit more support, just let me know. But now moving on, we're going to pull a tarot card, and then we'll have 3 of the Healing with the Angels cards to help us navigate and soften into, oh, I like this one, soften into this guidance. The card that's come up from the tarot is the 2 of Wands. Why I love that, there's the duality, the balance, but the 2 of Wands really invites us into acknowledging we're going to get where we're going. As souls, we sort of plot the course, the path. We don't necessarily know it logically, but your job is to take the steps forward, understanding that maybe you don't get to see the entire path forward. Maybe you don't get to see the how or the what choices. But by being in action, and that's this week is very much about action, taking the steps. Now, don't get hung up on, oh, I have to make a quantum leap or I have to make this huge big step. No, even the smallest baby step in the direction of what your inner compass is saying, go there. That's what then, it's like the paths rises up to meet your feet, and the things all start to click into place for you. So see if that helps you, if you let go of anger or resentment, to say, yep, I am in the right place at the right time, doing the things that will ultimately bring me to what I'm intending, where I'm headed. Okay, taking another nice deep breath. Like I said, we're going to have 3 of the Healing with the Angels cards. And then, of course, I finish these sessions off with one of my Liberate Your Inner Truth cards. OMG. Oh, this gave me chills. Watch this. The first one is study. So study, breathe into. Are you speaking your truth? Are you asking what you need? Are you owning your power? You're a creator being. You create all of the experiences. If they're not aligning with what you really want, then it's time to make this a time of spiritual growth. Everything, absolutely everything that we experience is spiritual by design, spiritual by nature. We are spiritual beings having this experience. Even if we get caught up in saying, oh, that shouldn't happen, that's terrible, that's awful, discombobulation, turmoil, chaos. Come home. You are in the right place at the right time. This is part of our spiritual growth, our spiritual evolution. And ultimately, it is superbly important to trust. Just because looking at the state around you kind of says, oh gosh, where is saying that spiritual? What on earth is spiritual? No, trust. Because my chattering mind, my critic might have me believe something else, it's time to let it go. It's time to calibrate to your truth, to your path. Okay, I didn't mean to get super serious there, but this is very important, very potent. Take another nice deep breath. I'm just about ready to send you off into this epic week ahead. But before I do, like I said, I'm going to pull one of my Liberate Your Inner Truth, because that's what this is all about. In your right measure, in your right rhythm, in your own best way. Liberate your truth. So let's see what comes up for us this week. Oh, nice. I always like it when this card comes up. I am abundant. You are abundant. We are all abundant by nature. So let me read this out to you. Abundance is not a circumstance or a condition. Abundance is never temporary. It's permanent. It is my natural state of mind which underlies everything I experience in the world. I like that. Doesn't that feel so beautifully connected? All the different components that came out today for our Inner Compass forecast for the week ahead. The final full week of the month of June. I wish you a superb week ahead. Like I said, if you need any guidance or support or clarification, let me know. Much love to you. Thank you for watching. I'll be back again with you next week.